Like, share, subscribe, comment, turn on the notification bell. Thank you.
Hey guys, welcome to Miss Valrie Can Help. This video is a little bit out of what I normally post, but it's still pretty fitting for what the brand is about. Um, because Miss Valrie Can Help is just a brand that I'm trying to build where we teach those who aren't as fortunate to know certain things, because we take for granted the things we know, and we take for granted the things we were given the opportunity of learning, you know, and not remembering that a lot of other people, may not have been given that chance, So that's what we are, what we're trying to be, we're not perfect, we're far from it, but we try to be that big sister or mom or companion, a good friend to you, our subscribers. So I guess in a way, this story it falls in line, with what we're doing here on this channel. I'm not gonna waste time based on the description. You already know what I'm gonna talk about. I failed nursing, um, nursing school to be exact. It took a while for me to be able to say that without crying. It took a while, but I can say that I didn't fail because I wasn't smart, or I didn't believe in myself, or I didn't think I deserved to be there. I more so failed because I was overconfident in myself, almost full of myself, as you would say. Um, Not proud of that, but I'm happy it happened because nursing school will humble you. It will definitely humble you. You know, I have been so used to getting the A's and being the one student who everybody is like, oh, that student, yes, put her in this club, or put her in this competition, or put her on this team because we're gonna win. She always gets the A's, she always gets the high score, she always speaks well, she always presents herself well, she represents us well, she is the student to be. And you forget that you can make mistakes, and being bigged up like that is a good thing, and it's also a bad thing, because in my eyes I saw myself as a person who could do no wrong, as it relates to learning, or being in school, or doing anything really. I just always thought I was that girl, when really and truly I forgot that how I got there was far from where I started from. Um, just to give a little bit of context, I grew up majority of my life back home in Jamaica. I just recently moved here 3 years ago, and I most of my schooling was back home. So I was always a bookworm. I always valued school way more than anything else, mainly because I was not socialized with other kids. I was more so socialized with adults. My mother could not, that's Miss Valerie, she could not afford babysitters or afford to just leave me with anyone, because everybody worked. So I would tag along with her for, you know, everywhere she went. I was basically her handbag. So I would be with her, and we never had cable or internet or anything like that, so books were my escape. I loved Nancy Drew, I loved the Boxcar Children, I love Hardy Boys, you know and those books were my escape. You know, they were my cable TV. I know it sounds very nerdy to say that, but when you're an only child like myself, and you you are always alone, you are so lonely, and not being able to afford certain things makes you become creative. So I had a very big imagination, and reading helped me to write, which then helped me to be good in school, because I never shied away from reading a big thick book. You know, when someone be like, "Oh God, that hard for read," I was more like, okay. You know, because what else can I do if I don't read? You know, I can't play with other kids, because where are they? I'm at my mom's job while she's, cleaning and stuff. I'm, in a corner somewhere hiding away from, obviously, the tourists. You're not supposed to mesh, you're the staff's kid, you're not supposed to be walking the property like, hey. It's your mom's job. You don't want her to lose her job, and plus these people pay you money to stay here. You don't want to cause any problems, which will then cut mommy's money. So yeah, so that's how I became fixated on reading. With that came a lot of success in school. I was always one of those kids who always got good grades, always did well in competitions, always did well with anything academic. And that gave me a self of pride and a sense of excitement about what's next for me, what's next for me. I carried that on until I came here to America. Now, going through the prerequisites, I was getting all A's, 4.0. That was me, easily. Because I had that Caribbean education system drilled in. I had the love of education because I couldn't afford it, and it wasn't accessible to me so easily, that I was hungry for education, hungry for success. But at the same time, I was full of myself to think that I got this, I'm well bright, and any little thing with them American people give me, I got it. Because I got the Caribbean learning and drilling and training. That was not the case. That was not the case at all. And I paid greatly for that misconception, you know. Because, sometimes you're proud, but you can't over proud. So much so that you think you're so bad, nothing else could have ever take you down. You're already at the top. Now, I started the nursing program last September, and I was so excited. I was so excited. I was thrilled. I had all these amazing people in my class, very diverse group, and I felt so lucky that I was chosen. Of course, I was chosen. I'm Deshannae. Like, why wouldn't they choose me? That was my mentality going in. I was so fixated on I could do this on my own. I just have to read these textbooks, answer the questions, nurse. No. um Back home, we're so used to when we read and we do the test, A. In nursing, that's not 100% how it works. You have to put in a lot of extra work around understanding the material, other than just understanding the material, if you get what I mean. You can read this book cover to cover, but can you apply it? That was my fault. That was where I fell down in. I could not apply it. You could ask me, what is, list, state, explain. I got it. This was me. That was me. Rolling it off, rolling it off, rolling it off. But if you were to say, a patient walks through the hall and trips, and or they want to walk, what type of limb? I was stumped. I'm like, I'm not used to these type of questions. These questions are scenario based. And for the life of me, No matter how much I read, it's like I couldn't apply it. And I kept trying. I read, I read, I read, and I kept getting low scores here, low scores there, low scores. It depressed me. I would go to class and just feel defeated because I'm like, what am I not doing? What more should I do? And it frustrated me more because I was in my own head saying, Deshannae, you're bright. You're a grade girl. You're the girl who knows a lot. What's going on? How could you be a girl who get 50 and below? Like what's going on here? But really, it took the end of it all, and I realized that I missed it by 5 points. I missed the pass mark by 5 points, and I cried, guys. I felt like the world was ending. I felt like this was it for me. I felt like I'm a failure completely. Everything that I've ever done in my life meant nothing. This is my ultimate determination. This is it. This is what ends me. And it took a lot of amazing people to really show me the way and encourage me not to give up. You know, I'm gonna do a shout out to Nexus. It's a channel on YouTube. Professor D. She's amazing. She is amazing, amazing, amazing. And I emailed her right after. Well, not emailed, but you know, like you would write a comment, and she responded, and she was like, "Look," she said this to me. She said, "You know, the very best nurses never made it on the first try." And I said, "Really?" You know, they're like, "No. Sometimes you have some nurses who go straight through. You have some who it takes a couple of years. Some people it takes a couple of tries. Some people it goes straight through for school, and then they get to the big exam and they fail it. They have to do it over." She's like, "The journey is not important. What is important is the finish." Because not everybody's going to have the same journey as you. Not everybody's going to go through the same path. Not everybody's going to have the same motive. Not everybody's going to have the same purpose. But ultimately, at the end, you know, basically, the end crowns the work, you know. And I took that very seriously, and it really really motivated me to try again, and I am gonna try again in September coming. You know, just to give you a little bit of time frame, it's April right now. When I did this video, it was the last day of April, and you know, I'm more so humbled going in instead of being cocky or full of myself going in. This time, I'm just going in hungry to learn, hungry to work with my fellow nursing students, hungry to do questions, hungry to ask questions, hungry to practice, hungry to put in the work than just thinking I could just simply read this book from cover to cover and I'm nurse. That was not the case, and I understand that now, and I don't think this failure was set up for me to give up. It was more so knock wake up call, you know, because I feel like God really does want me to keep going in this path, but he needed to humble me because the type of nurse that I want to be and I am going to be requires this. Because if I went in with that same mentality is that I am an island, I stand alone, I got this on my own, I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need your help, I don't need your input, I don't need your teamwork, I would have been a very bad nurse, not skill wise, but personality wise. I would have been all for myself, all about me, all about what I can do. What do I bring to the table? Not what we can do, not what we will bring to the table to ultimately be good people and good professionals in this industry. And I look at it like God did this for me to humble myself and remember where I'm coming from, because I was not always this bright. I really had to put my head down and work. And it may not seem like that with how I said it, but it really did take a lot for me to finish school and do a lot financial wise and time and effort. I was never a slow person, but at the same time, there are some things that I couldn't grasp, and I really had to put my head down and work, So this video is not to, at the end of it you're like, oh, guess what, I'm a nurse now. This video is more so to say that at the end of it I will be a nurse, but this is my journey, this is how I got here. But I acknowledge my failure. I'm not ashamed of it, and I will scream it from the mountaintops, because ultimately my failure will be the thing that is the foundation of how I become greater. And that's not just me saying it now and then after the cameras turn off. It's like depression. No, I'm really, I'm ready this time. I know what to expect. I know what is expected of me. I know what not to do, what to do. I know how to approach it now. More so with an embrace than a restraint. You get what I'm saying? So I just wanted to share that with you. I know there's a lot of people who went through the nursing program, failed just like me, and there are some who didn't, but you know what? Our journey is different today for you, tomorrow for me, and I'm just grateful that I at least had the opportunity to go and try again. So even though I didn't make it, I have a chance to do it again. And I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to get it. And I'm not going to give up. So this is not a triumphant story at the end where I'm already a nurse, like surprise. No, I'm taking this journey, but I want to share my story with someone, and hopefully it will give you hope. Maybe it won't, but at the same time I want to make you realize that there's someone else out there who is going through what you're going through, and you're not alone, and we won't be the first, and we aren't the first, and we sure won't be the last. So if this can help someone, it would have been even more amazing than being a nurse already. Because that's what I'm trying to do with this channel. I'm trying to help people. I don't shame, I don't bash, and I don't look to demean anybody. I'm here to help you, and if you can help me, I am for it. And I'm grateful for this chance, and I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful for us, this opportunity for us to build, to grow, and to be one with each other. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will definitely give updates how it's going, whether I actually get in to the program in September, because being a person who's readmitting, you go in on the basis of availability, so fingers crossed. But if I do get in based on availability, I will definitely keep you up to date, and maybe this will become a motivator and a journey, and a companionship journey with someone else who's in my position, and we're doing it together almost. So I'm happy for that. I'm grateful for that. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and share, and subscribe to Miss Valrie Can Help. Thank you guys.